Park Boys before I got to go to my mom's for dinner.
Yeah, I skipped Easter this year. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not
We
going.
don't ever do anything. My mom just has dinner. We just go for dinner. That's it.
Yeah,
No, you're good.
oh, say they go to my aunt, so I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like
Yeah.
40 miles, 50 miles away. I'm like, I'm all set. I'm not going for a long ride.
Yeah. Easter's just kind of. I don't even get days off at work for Easter, so I don't give a fuck about it.
No, fuck Easter.
All right. All right, welcome everybody. This is the Marvel Minute. I'm Brandon, as always, joined by my man Trevitt. Trevitt, what's up?
Nothing much. What's going on?
Nothing. Just here on Easter Sunday, talking a little Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, story about hell. So that's pretty, kind of really what you should not be doing on Easter, I feel like. But here we are.
On April Fool's Day, too.
Yeah, right. It's all a big fucking clusterfuck. But anyway, my buddy already got as far as like the Twitter world and internet world goes on April Fools. He sent me a text this morning. He's like, "Did you see what the Lions traded for the #1 pick?" And I'm like, "Oh, this sounds like straight up April Fool shit," because no, I haven't heard anything about it. So I Googled it, and yeah, it was like some Lions blog that basically says at the end of the article, this is an April Fool's, article post. And I'm like, you got, buddy. But
he just read the trade. He didn't
read
the whole article.
He's like, "Did you see what the Lions gave up for the #1 pick?" And I'm like, I haven't heard anything about this. So I think, before I even looked it up, I'm like, you got, buddy. But
funny.
Yeah. This is the worst internet day of the year, so we're trying to power on through, talking a little Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider #1. Writer Chris Sabella. The only art credit I saw, unless you noticed something different that I didn't, was Phil Noto, because they went all fucking fancy on everything here.
He does everything. He does his inks, his colors, all of it.
He's listed as Illuminator, and then the next person's name is Calligrapher VC's Travis Lanham, and I know that's the letterer because of the VC thing going on there. But you want to start throwing fancy words at me in the credits, I'm gonna glance over people. But I didn't, I guess. Phil Noto is it as far as art goes.
Bible days speak, like scribe, illuminator, calligrapher.
Nonsense. You can't. I'm reading a comic book here. Don't talk over my head. But the Marvel Comics production. This is Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider going through a hell of a divorce. They're literally separated and stuck in hell after an encounter with Mephisto, and are looking for a way out of damnation, possibly. So let's see if two heads are better than one in this fantasy land they call hell, in our Marvel Minute feature this week. So yeah, our issue begins with a brief recap of the events that led us to this situation. And, basically it's coming on to the events of damnation. I haven't been reading it. Trevitt has, but I mean, I wasn't really lost here. This page and then the summary page does a good job of basically filling you in on what happened. And Mephisto, after Johnny Blaze / Ghost Rider got to the top of this building, he pushes him off, killing Johnny Blaze again. And now he's in hell. Once he kind of hits the ground, he separates into two different entities again as Johnny and Ghost Rider. So now they're not one and the same at this point, two separate people. And they begin to have, a slight disagreement basically about how Johnny goes about using the power of the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's kind of a little pissed. He just goes off on all these really kind of side missions that don't involve dealing with the people Ghost Rider would rather deal with instead of the people Johnny would rather deal with. Is the heart of this argument, is from what I get the sense of, kind of runs through most of the issue at various points. Their heart-to-heart is interrupted by a horde of demons who's just coming at them with blood in their eyes, trying to feast on the fresh meat that's arrived in hell. And the two have to start fighting off and handling the crowd. This is my second favorite point in the book, when Johnny apparently grabs a flaming bat that's like flying in the air. And then
dope.
Using it as a weapon. So there's some crazy shit that happens in this fight. Johnny also was stabbed by a pitchfork at one time. He's like, these blows don't kill you, but every stabbing and slash you take, obviously you feel the pain or whatever. It's the point of this hell. Yeah, I don't know if you saw anything else that was noteworthy stand out there, but pretty much the pitchfork stabbing and the bat as a weapon were the standouts in this fight scene.
Those are definitely the best parts. I don't know what's up with those guys sticking those wooden spikes, stakes in fucking Ghost Rider's eyes.
Was he enjoying that, or was he not enjoying that? I couldn't tell. I'm like, is he like some masochist or whatever the fuck that word is? I don't know.
I think it I didn't think it did anything to him because the flames, I think, melted the wood, like burned up the wood.
They're shoving wood spikes into his eyes, and at first he looks like he's screaming, and then he's like, "Oh wait, this is rather enjoyable," and then he's smiling. I think
massaging his eye holes.
Yeah. Anyway, that fight ends up, being taken care of by the team of Johnny and Ghost. That's what I'll refer to them from now on, for the remainder of this issue. And it leads them on a path to like this stadium-esque structure, kind of like the Roman Colosseum, and basically their next challenge. Johnny is told by Ghost Rider to confront this terrible sinner, and he's like standing in this crowd of just terrible-looking human beings and demons. And there's this guy that, if you ever seen Trailer Park Boys, looks exactly like Bubbles, kind of the shortest dude in the group with glasses, that is the person Johnny's told to go after. And me and Trevitt both agreed before we started hitting record here that this is a child porn guy, 100%. We can't think of why, out of everybody else in this group, this dude would be picked out as the worst for any other reason. So yeah, Johnny's told to go beat the shit out of him. He starts advancing forward, and the dude pushes his glasses up and does an over-the-plate home run, in the words of Eric Shea, when he slugs Johnny and he goes flying across the stadium. And then, Johnny comes back and he like squeezes the dude's fists together and hurts him. Like it's a weird kind of exchange and fight that goes down between the two, but ultimately Johnny comes out on top.
He snaps his forearm in half.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, he snaps it in half.
I couldn't quite get. I'm like, is he squishing this dude's fists together? Like, I don't know what's happening here. But then Ghost Rider takes over and sucks all the sin and soul out of this dude. And so this guy's taken care of. I guess the rest of the people then start beating on him in a pile on the ground as Johnny and Ghost climb up into the box seats of this stadium and confront this group of dead villains and bad people. Really, the only notable one, all of them are a bunch of pieces, chicken shit, except for this elephant man who'll come into play later. But they basically get the gist from Johnny that they're looking to take Mephisto's seat in hell. Really, I thought the point of it was to get out of this place at first, but it kind of switches in the middle. I don't know if I missed something, or
I think they're trying.
You would know better than me, having read previous issues.
Yeah, they're trying to get Mephisto's attention. So, because right now all of his attention is on being in Vegas and running shit there. So after he kicked Johnny out that window, Johnny figures if he can take his throne, maybe he can trick Mephisto into coming back down to hell.
Okay, that makes more sense here. So yeah, that's what he tells these group of bad guys he wants to do, and they're like, well, basically you got to go through the 7 circles of hell to get there, and good luck with all that. The elephant guy is like, basically, that sounds fun. You might want to sign me up for that, but he'll come into play later. He doesn't really join them on basically most of the circles through their journey. Ghost Rider conjures up a couple motorcycles, and then the two go off in Mad Max fashion for the rest of the issue, riding through these various circles of hell. At points, I couldn't tell if these vehicles were on their side chasing them. And then, they pull out this chain and, they just start destroying shit.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was like, are they with them? And then I saw the chain in the car, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
So that's where the Mad Max part comes in, and they start riding through these, again, various circles and on their journey to the end here. So they get to basically one of these last circles, and this giant death murder train chasing them with teeth gives them the idea. Yeah, that thing is crazy looking. To combine once again, that's the only way they're gonna really finish this journey. So they
that's a murder machine right there. You know how in Metal they say
it totally remind me of Metal, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a murder machine right there. Not, not the Cyborg Batman. Yeah.
But yeah, so when they combine, they basically get through the rest of the journey together, run into the Elephant Man at the end, who basically then turns into their motorcycle for the rest of this journey until they get to the gates of Mephisto's castle. Ghost Rider's like, I'm going in. Elephant Man's like, I'm going to stay out here and beat on these demon dogs with 3 heads. And as Johnny arrives up to the top of the castle, there's really nobody there to stop him on his path to the throne as he takes a seat. And all these demons arrive and start bending the knee, and he's now got a flame crown on his head. He's like, now the ruler of hell. And the tale continues in a few more tie-ins, and then we got concluding in Doctor Strange Damnation number 4. But yeah, I mean, this was a pretty decent issue as far as buy, borrow, or forget goes. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot of background going into the event, but just picking this one up cold and reading through it, was craving a little more Ghost Rider after that. What was that miniseries he was just in? Spirits of Vengeance, yeah. After that ended, and it's cool to see the Johnny Blaze version sticking around. That's the version I've kind of preferred and liked over the years. So, this was a good story on a journey through hell. Just a lot of action, fighting, and some demon nonsense and stuff like that. It was a good, quick read. Not a whole bunch happened. We'll see how Ghost Rider, being the king of hell, concludes. As the event wraps up, and now I might have to tune in because I do want to see how that ends. But yeah, I would give it a solid borrow. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's like kind of like a mini event that if you have an interest in, you'd be all in on and pay attention to. But if you were just like decided at the beginning you were going to stay away from this isn't really an issue that I'm saying you have to come to read and enjoy the rest of the journey for, but it's a fun read overall. Ghost Rider one shot, I had a good time. I would say it's a borrow overall. I like the art. I don't have really any complaints about it. It was a fun book to read. But I wouldn't say it's something you got to come and read every issue that preceded it, read this and finish the event to know what's going on, unless you're super invested in Doctor Strange and these characters. So it's a solid borrow book. I don't know. What do you feel about it? I don't have super strong feelings about anything either way, because this just isn't really an event I've been paying attention to, but I had a good read with this, really.
Yeah. Damnation's been okay so far. I'd say as far as the tie-in issues go, you can forget Iron Fist, you can forget Scarlet Spider, but the Doctor Strange tie-ins and the normal event are definite things to actually read if you want to follow the event. This was actually really integral to the story, because at the end of the last issue of Damnation, that's what happens. I think this is all part of the plan. Johnny Storm goes up to Mephisto, and he's gonna fight him, and then Mephisto blows him out like a match and kicks him out of the window on the top of a building, and he dies. And then he wakes up in this issue. So it was pretty cool. I liked it. I love Phil Noto's art. I'm a big Phil Noto fan, especially when he inks. Like sometimes he does that style where he just pencils and he doesn't ink anything, like what he did in his Black Widow series. But this, he actually inked. It was like one of his older things, like when he did X-23 or Uncanny X-Force. I really enjoyed it. I like how they had to go through the 7 circles of hell to get to the throne. I like the murder machine. fucking elephant running through the murder machine and destroying it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
like
that's the highlight of it. I forgot to mention how that was, the Elephant Man becoming basically Johnny's and Ghost Rider's motorcycle towards the end. My favorite part, right off the heels of, the bat being the weapon in the beginning. So
yeah,
there's some fun moments, like definitely for an action title. That's what you want, is something to break up the action, a little ridiculousness or something like that. So it was good. It was good.
Fun moments, and I could see, like, if they ever did like a Ghost Rider series with Chris Sabella and Phil Noto, I'd probably be in. But I'd say it's a borrow. If you want to read it as just a one shot, you don't necessarily even have to. It's the way it's written is you could just read this without even having to read fucking Damnation. Like, you could just be like, oh yeah, Ghost Rider becomes the king of hell, and that's it. You don't have to carry anything else.
It's kind of a cool one shot like that.
Yeah, or you could read it and it furthers the Damnation story, so it works either way. Given that, I think I'm gonna give it a buy, because I've been somewhat enjoying Damnation. I think I've enjoyed this the most out of everything so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a buy. I liked it.
All right. So I totally forgot to put the poll up this way. I went to my Twitter to look at what won the poll on like Thursday or Friday, and I'm like, holy shit, I never put a poll up. So I'm gonna blame that on Aaron, because he's stopped reminding me to put a poll up on Mondays when I'm brain dead and thinking about my first day of work on Tuesday. So I will get one up this week, I promise. So you guys can decide on the book for next week. But I just went with the Jim theory of Jim likes number ones for this week, and I figured that would have won probably anyway based on the other choices available. So here we are, and we're gonna wrap things up for you. Again, I apologize for the poll. We'll get one up this week, but we'll be back next week with a new Marvel title for you guys. Until that time, we're signing out here. You know where to find me and Trevitt on Twitter. So if you got anything to say, disagree with us, agree with us, let us know. And we will be back next week. Peace out, guys.
Peace.